Hi everyone, Clissmall Designs here, and this is part 1 of the Tamiya 1350 scale USS Missouri circa 1991. Well, it's official folks, I started work on my very first Iowa class battleship. So let's show you what I've done so far. So I've started the supporting mounts for the display stand. Now you do have options. You can either make a display stand where you can have the ship just resting on top of it, and then you can pick your ship up and move it around and have it independent of the display stand, or you can have it so you can actually screw your display stand into these mounts here, which I like because once it's screwed on, after you've done painting it, of course, you're not scratching up your ship and having it messing around or having the potential of it knocking off your display stand. Like if you watch my Bismarck video, that's it's free of this display stand, so you do have the potential of actually knocking it off, which I kind of don't like, but that's the only option you had with that. As where if you watch my Yamato build, you'll notice that it's actually hard mounted on, so you can actually move the ship around and not risk losing your ship. So I like that. So I already pre-drilled the holes, as you can see, so those are all ready for the screws. And if you look inside there, the nuts are nicely inside. And of course I glued all the mounts right there. Now you don't want to glue the nuts. You want to make sure you keep the nuts free of the glue, so they're kind of rattling around in there. Just because if you glue the nuts, or actually didn't get glue on the nuts, and you go to put your screw in, it might be this way or this way. So you want to make sure there's no glue in the nuts, just so you want to make when it comes time to put your screw in, it'll catch the nut and then you're nice and straight. But you definitely want to make sure you have enough glue and everything around these plastic pieces so they're nice and hard. So that's the option I chose anyway, but you want to have all that pre-drilled and all the rest of it prior to painting. That way you're not drilling it afterwards. 9 times out of 10 you're not even going to see the underside of your model afterwards anyway. Other things I did was nicely sanded. I mean, you can still see the line there, but it's actually smooth. I can't even feel the line anymore, so once paint and everything gets over that, you won't even feel it, because obviously that's where they had the sprue attached. I mean, you can still see the mark, but it's smooth, so once paint hits that, you won't even see it. So I got that nicely smooth, so that's ready to accept paint. I do have to put this through the wash yet, because it's still a little oily from whatever release agent they used. And I got these A brackets on, as you can see right there, just a little bit of glue. I got them nicely sanded, so that'll accept paint. And then I got the rudders on. Normally I'll leave these on and paint them separate. I did with the Yamato just because the angle of paint. Now I use spray cans. I'm still kind of old school that way for all my painting. So usually I'll leave those off and paint them separate, but I feel like I can get in there enough, so I put them on now. And then I'll show you the opposite side. What I did is I just inserted them through there. Now prior to inserting them, you actually have to drill inside there. See how they're kind of protruding in? That's actually the piece here. See how they say put them inside there? You actually have to drill inside there. See, it shows you how to drill. It's very simple to do. You just basically find your little pin like that, right, and drill, and then kind of carve it out just to get to the shape of that, and then push it through and then glue it. Very, very simple. And that's it, and you're done. So that's very simple. The only hard parts were, if you look at the back there, that little door piece, and that shows on the instructions right there. Trying to get that straight. And we're on page 1 of the instructions here, people. I guess I should have mentioned that, but I know that's rare for me. This is page 1. Wasn't hard to do. It's just obviously you get like maybe one shot at it, right? To get it nice and straight. Right there. just when I say is, well, you get one shot at it, is because it's such a small piece. Like, there's my finger. You know, if you get it all, you know, kind of put it on, it's like, you know, a little bit off or whatever, and then you try to correct it, you know, and then you're going to get glue smudge, and then you got to sand it, and that's what I mean. So luckily I got it, you know, bang on in one shot. And try and focus there. There we go. So that piece is on there nicely. And then I got that piece there, which is right there. And again, that has to sit nice and straight. Now that in the instructions is a couple pages in. Right there. That's step number 4. Now this is getting ready for, now you want to go through the instructions, obviously, because I'm going to get this ready for painting now. I'm going to wash this, I'm going to get ready for prime and painting. You just want to go through the instructions, make sure there's nothing else to go onto the hull, which there's not. Everything that I need to go on the hull is on there now. You know, I got these pieces on there, I got the rudder pieces on there, I got that back piece that you just seen on there now, and then that piece there, and that's it. So now I'm getting ready to, I'm just going to clean it up, I'm going to wash it, make sure there's no debris on it, and then I'm going to prime it in gray, and then I'm going to get the hull color, and then I'm going to get the line color, which I believe, it looks like it's almost like a flat black, I can't be sure. I'll find out which color that is, and then obviously the hull red. And then I'll put the display stand on, just like I did with the Yamato. That way I can move this around the desk. And actually, prior to put the stand on, I will be putting a like a semi-gloss coat on. Then I'll put the display stand on. That way I can move this around the desk without it scraping up my paint. So that's where we're at with part 1. It's not the most exciting video, but that's how these ships start out, right? It's just a little bit of housekeeping kind of things, getting it all kind of prepped and ready to go. And there we go. So the most important steps, obviously, are trying to get like these little pieces on prior to painting, because once you start getting the hull painted and stuff, and you go, oh no, I forgot to put that on, or oh, I forgot to put that on, or these back piece, and then you try to glue something on, it kind of looks a little silly. So there we go, guys. There's part 1 of the USS Missouri, and this is going to be a fun one, guys. So thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment as always. So much.